Bonjour. I'd like to talk to you about an issue that's been coming up a lot lately that is important to me personally, talking about trigger warnings and content warnings. I remember the first time that I heard about trigger warnings was when I went to a support group online, and I thought, well, this is fantastic, because there were things that I would read that would be upsetting to me, especially as a survivor of trauma and brainwashing, and now I could plan to take care of myself and not get just pounced on by something that was difficult for me to deal with psychologically. Some people are saying that they want to call it content warnings instead of trigger warnings because trigger can make some people think of guns and then that can be triggering. But for me, the word trigger is extremely important, and I want to talk about why. Trigger, I think it actually comes out of mind control and conditioning and brainwashing, where there would be a trigger phrase or something that would trigger someone to do some behavior, or even like with hypnosis, where they'd hypnotize someone and say the trigger phrase and the person would act like a chicken, that kind of a thing. But even more so with people who were in long-term conditioning programs and brainwashed. And because I'm a survivor of cult abuse, I have been brainwashed, I have been subjected to mind control. And by the way, this is something that's really important. New Age terminology can be triggering to cult abuse survivors. Most cults these days are New Age cults. So you may think that New Age is all love and light, but it can be triggering for those of us out there who have survived New Age cults. And this shitty thing is that it's everywhere. New Age stuff like meditation and mindfulness, and it can be triggering. Along with the word trigger comes the word triggered, which describes a state of being overwhelmed psychologically, or in my case, maybe overwhelmed by flashbacks and intrusive PTSD symptoms, which is more involved than just being a little bit upset because some of the content was upsetting. This is something that actually can make me relive one of the most hellish and traumatic times in my life and trigger self-destructive or suicidal ideation. And there's no matching phrase for that in content warning. I think that takes the teeth out of the whole. These words can have real serious lasting impact on people. And I understand some people may have trouble with the word trigger, but for me, it's important to get respect for my feelings and justice for my symptoms, boundaries, and needs, which need to be more widely understood and taken seriously. People can understand the word trigger, and people can understand very easily when you describe the state of being triggered as being overwhelmed by emotions or psychological symptoms. That's why I think this word is important, and I don't want to see it taken out of the language because it really helps me. Thanks for watching. Bye.